They are talking about democracy, those who have been elected. Show me one West African leader, one, just one, Tinubu included, Akufo-Addo included, all of them included, who is half as popular as the new military leader in Burkina Faso. These are popular leaders. Their popularity is bigger than the popularity of the so-called elected leaders. When ECOWAS sent a delegation to go to Mali, to persuade Mali to hand over, did you see the hundreds of thousands of people who poured out in the streets against ECOWAS and in support of their leadership? Tell me one West African leader who enjoys that level of popularity. I mean, recently, this young Burkinabe leader returned from the African-Russia summit. Did you see the mobilization who went to meet him at the airport? Did you see the crowd? Burkina Faso, small country with a small population. Did you see the hundreds of thousands who turned up to welcome him? And why were people so enthusiastic about that young leader? Because of the statements he made at that summit. Because he addressed the African problem. Because he made it clear that the neo-colonial capitalist party is going to sink all of us. And that we had better wake up. Why has he now earned the name the new Sankara? Why has he become so popular across the world? Show me one West African leader who is half as popular as that young man in Burkina Faso. None whatsoever. So when it comes to popular elections and so on, our West African leaders cannot pretend that they have the popularity that these coup leaders have. Look, I have seen coup regimes in this country. And as I was saying a few days ago, I have the advantage of age. You understand? I have the advantage of age. I'm an old man, okay? And because of my advantage of age, I've seen coup d'etats, all the successful coup d'etats, I saw them fili, gani. Indeed, the 1966 coup, I was in middle school, I think, and me and my friends moved from my Kutubabi home through Accra New Town, went all the way to Kanda, and I know what I saw. I saw the arrest of Nkrumah security men in the Abavana house at Abavana Junction in Pikval. I witnessed it with my own eyes. You see the New Town Truck Station, where it is now. They arrested some of Nkrumah security people, also from that white building, just adjacent to the filling station. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw how blood oozed out. I saw the molestation. I saw people being beaten for not demonstrating in support of the coup. I saw all with my own clear eyes. I went to Kanda that morning. You see those small story buildings dotted around opposite the Czech embassy. I saw soldiers arrive, point the muzzle of their nozzle of their guns, of the armored vehicles, shoot into those flats. And I saw fridges and television sets tumbling down. I saw people being killed and so on. I saw it with my own eyes. I saw General Champon's coup. Of course, it was bloodless. It was perhaps the most gentle coup that ever took place in our country. Okay? I saw it with my own eyes. I saw June 4th. I saw June 4th. And I saw our mothers. You know, I saw elderly women being stripped naked in the streets and their private parts being whipped, and so on. I saw it with my own eyes. Why? December 31st, I saw and experienced it. By the time it was over, 246 Ghanaians were missing. You can trace them. I signed a petition to the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice for investigations into the 246 disappeared. And the commission wrote back to say that if they started an investigation, it will open a Pandora's box. What did that mean? What did that mean, that it will open a Pandora's box? You know, so I've seen it all. And I don't wish that to happen to my people, to this country. I don't want ever to see a Kenya, a Hine again. I don't want to see a situation in which 246 people are missing. They cannot be traced. They cannot be investigated. I don't want to see that. You understand? I don't want to see all the atrocities which were committed by these coup regimes. I don't. But you see, if we don't want to see those atrocities revisited on us, then we must behave in ways which make it impossible for coups to take place. I don't think that in West Africa we are doing the things which will prevent the reoccurrence of coup d'etats. Everything we are doing in West Africa is to invite coup d'etats. That's what we are doing. We are doing everything against the Constitution, anything against the Constitution, anything which annoys people. You come from the New Patriotic Party. You are campaigning for Alhaji and Alhaji. No problem with that. Why? When you speak against some of the things which are happening in your own internal party election, what is the response of the Bawumia team? If you don't like it, go and form your own party. What does that mean? This impunity, this arrogance. You, Bawumia, you joined this party in 2008. And your campaign team has the effrontery to tell foundation members of the party to leave the party and go and form their own party because your campaign team is doing things that they don't like. If you take this attitude into government, will you not be inviting coup d'etats? Ahmed Swali was killed. How many years ago? There has been no conclusive investigation about who killed Ahmed Swali. What are you telling us? Are you telling me, as a journalist like Ahmed Swali, to have confidence in this so-called democratic system, which cannot find out who kills me, who does not care whether journalists are killed or not killed? What will be the basis of that confidence? What will be the basis of that confidence in the so-called democratic system? So look, it is time to ask the important questions. It is time to ask those who claim to be our leaders to do the proper things. Why? The Constitution is clear. You can't engage in any foreign agreement. You can't sign foreign agreements without parliamentary approval. They are signing agreements without parliamentary approval. And they say it is democracy. Is that democracy? All over the West African sub-region, the U.S. has managed to establish its military bases all over the place. And Ghana is included. This defense agreement we signed with the U.S. enables the U.S. to use our territory for aggressive purposes. Okay? The French are everywhere. And so, the British are dotted all over the place, and so on. So, given the state of instability, economic suffering, and so on, don't you think that our people have a right to revolt? And you think that when our people decide to revolt, they're going to revolt through the ballot box? You are dreaming, daydreaming. No revolution has taken place through the ballot box before. Quote me anywhere. Show me one which occurred through the ballot box. So, rather than jump in solidarity with our reckless leaders, hell-bent on imposing recklessness on Niger, let the people of West Africa, in their trade unions, in their women's movements, in their youth and students' movements, in their popular movements, mobilize massively against the recklessness of our leaders. Let us tell them in the face that we will not be part of any senseless war in Niger or anywhere else on our continent. Our demands are clear. One, the resources of West Africa must be owned by the people of West Africa. Simple and short. This is what every human society everywhere demands. The resources embedded in our soil belong to West Africans. We need to own them. 2, the resources must be exploited for the benefit of the peoples of West Africa. That's all. The resources, the gold, the diamond, the uranium, the lithium, and so on, the huge forest. If we exploit them, the benefits must come to the people of West Africa. West Africans have a right to choose their own leaders. And if we don't have that right now, we must use every and any means possible to secure that right. Let nobody tell us that some means are illegitimate or improper. They don't decide. The oppressor does not decide for the oppressed what weapons the oppressed must use in order to overthrow it. It is only the oppressor who is in a position to decide what methods and weapons it needs in order to come out of oppression. You know, this young leader from Burkina Faso has made a statement which has become very popular, and I endorse it. He says, the slave who does not revolt against his or her slavery does not deserve any pity. So slaves have a duty to rebel. Oppressed people have a duty to rebel. And those who suffer neo-colonial exploitation have a duty to themselves and to generations unborn to rebel using weapons and means that they decide, not what the oppressor decides. Finish.
Thank you. Thank you very much, and welcome back. Always educative listening to you. We'll come to Gabriela shortly, but let me read a few messages from Facebook. A lot of people have been engaging. Sidonio Givanda says people are really stakeholders of their wealth or resources. There's Kakra Bedu, who says, indeed, our leaders in Africa, like President Akufo-Addo, don't see anything wrong if those who do it are close to him. Clear example is when